Objective is to solve multi-step linear equations. This is a continuation of our lesson yesterday when we were combining like terms and doing the distributive property, because that is what we need to do first in solving a multi-step linear equation. So if we look at this first problem, our first step is to combine like terms. So we look here and we have an x and an x. So we are going to combine x plus 2x is 3x, and then we just bring down the minus 3, and that equals 6. Now we just have a two-step problem. So 3x minus 3, we have to add 3 to both sides. These are going to cancel, and we get 3x is equal to 9. Now the last step is 3x is 3 times x, so to undo multiplication, we divide by 3. So our final answer is 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, so this next problem, we need to first combine the like terms. So we look here, we have an x and an x, so we do 12x plus 10x, so we just bring everything else down. 80 equals 22x, and then we bring down the plus 14. Okay, so remember we have to do this, we have to subtract 14, we have to subtract 14 first to cancel that out. So 80 minus 14 is 66. And that equals 22x. And then 22 times x, we have to undo the multiplication, so we divide by 22. So our final answer is 3 equals x. Okay, so our first step here is we need to combine like terms. So our like terms have an a this time, not an x. So we're going to do 5a, and then this term, this negative sign goes with that 3. So I want to make sure I circle that whole term. So we have 5a minus 3a is 2a plus 3 equals negative 7. Now I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides to cancel that out. So these cancel. Now look, we have a negative 7 and a negative 3. So if we combine negative 7 and negative 3, our answer is going to be negative. And then we do 7 plus 3 is 10. Now our next step is 2 times a. We're going to divide by 2 to undo that multiplication. So negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And that is our final answer. Okay, so now our first step is to combine our like terms. So we have an m and an m. So this is negative 4m plus m. So remember what we said before, if it's just an m or an x or an a all by itself, we have one of them. So I'm going to put a 1 there. Negative 4m plus 1m is negative 3m. Because remember, we have more negatives than we do positives, so our answer is negative. And then we do 4 minus 1 is 3. And then we bring down the plus 2. Okay, the next step is we want to subtract 2 from both sides to cancel that out. 23 minus 2 is 21. Now negative 3 times m, we're going to divide by negative 3 to undo that multiplication. And our final answer, remember, positive divided by a negative will be a negative. 21 divided by 3 is 7, because these were canceled out. So that is our final answer. Okay, now this one is a little more tricky because we have those parentheses. So our first step is to get rid of the parentheses. So we need to multiply or distribute that 4 into the parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to bring down this 3. Plus 4x plus 20 equals 31. Okay, now my like terms here are my constant terms, so just the numbers. So I have 3 and 20. So we have 4x plus 23 equals 31. Now we're going to subtract 23 from both sides to cancel out that 23. And then we have 4x is equal to 8. Now to undo the multiplication, we divide by 4. Now 8 divided by 4, write my answer over here, is 2. Okay, last problem. So this one, don't be tricked. We're not just distributing a 3 into the parentheses, we're distributing a negative 3 into the parentheses. Okay, that's why I circle those negatives. So let's bring everything else down. We have 27 equals 3x. All right, negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. Negative 3 times negative 2x is positive 6x. Okay, so my next step is I need to combine my like terms. So we have an x and an x, so those are my like terms. So I'm going to bring everything else down. 3x plus 6x is 9x. And then we add 18. So we have here is 45 equals 9x. And then to undo the multiplication, we divide by 9. 45 divided by 9 is 5. So 5 equals x. So that is how you solve multi-step linear equations.